All right, Jim. Well, that was the AEW Women's World Title change. We now go to
certainly
the
was.
four-way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
We go to it. Oh boy, folks, you had Josh Alexander and Hichichichia taking on Hong Kong Phooey and Kevin Knight, taking on the Hardley Boys, taking on Bandito and Burger King in a four-way ladder match for the tag team title. And each of these teams, of course, has qualified in other multiple team garbage matches to be in this multiple team garbage match. And we're 3.5 hours into the show. And this is the point in time now where the Lollipop Guild get to play on the trampoline in their backyards with their friends, and we are forced to watch. So, yay! Now we have fake-looking indie wrestling now with ladders. Brian, it did go with entrances. Half an hour, 30 fucking minutes. What is the purpose of watching this? It's how can you keep track of who's doing what to who, or in some cases, who's even on what team? They just go out and do shit intermittently for over and over. What is the purpose of this?
I can't answer the questions for you. I thought it was a...
What is the meaning of life?
I thought it was a just fine tag team, multi-team ladder match. We've seen a lot of those, it seems like. And Brodito, big win. Obviously, Tony Khan's really getting behind them.
Well, it's because he finally came up with a tag team name that doesn't sound completely stupid. Brodito sounds like something you might have heard in a fucking 90s movie, but at least it rolls off the tongue. But the big news, though, was after the match was over with. That's what everybody's talking about, because after they all play for their, half-hour recess, and then the kids scamper back to the back, the two guys left in the ring all alone are the Buckaroos, Maddie and Nikki. And they're just standing there, but they're obviously not pitching to anything, and the cameras are not cutting away, so you know something's about to happen. And then here comes Jungle Jackoff into the ring. How long's he been? It's been a year, I guess, right? Or more. And I haven't really been counting the days because I've just gotten so relieved that we haven't had to look at him. But they stare at each other, and then Jack tackles Matt, and they all get in a fight. Now, wouldn't he... Whose side was he on when last we saw him? Wasn't he affiliated with whatever thing that they were trying to do to stay on the cards at that point, the Buckaroos?
Oh, not stay on the cards, help run the company. Remember, he turned with them to attack Tony Khan, and because they couldn't be fired, they were EVPs, he was protected. He was aligned with the Bucks, yes.
So now, a year later, he comes back, he's mad at him.
Well, if you heard any of the commentary, and if you did, I apologize, but if you heard any of the commentary, I think Excalibur said they set this up with something on their YouTube show.
Oh, Christ. Well, of course they did. Well, anyway, Rocky Romero ran in because he was just dying to get a piece of that fucking prick. But Perry dumped him too, and then the Hardley Boys double super kicked him and grabbed him and were about to knee lift him, and he looked up at him and he laughed. They're big on that spot. They love that. Because as he looks up at him and starts smiling, the lights go out. And then you see on the video screen, there's Perry digging up a coffin. Now, right there, they completely lost us because anybody who looks at Perry would see that there's no way he could dig a 6-foot deep hole by himself.
Perry digging up a coffin with his cinematographer friend.
Yes, who didn't want to help with the shovel. And then he chains it to the back of his bread delivery van and drags it down the road. And now he's in a laboratory where he revives Dino Douche, good old Luchasaurus. And then suddenly the lights come on and there's Dino in the ring and he double choke slams the Buckaroos. Now, again, the biggest pop maybe of the night was for Dino. They loved it. He's back. That part was great. When Perry showed up in the ring, people were like,
However,
it was ambivalence.
When when the fans started dancing on their own to the Jungle Boy song and then they played it, I feel like it was almost like a moment of happiness amongst their fan base because it was a feeling akin to years ago when we used to come and dance to this song.
Oh boy!
Here at the AEW.
Well, yeah, and for the new viewers or new listeners out there, when Dino hugged Jack and they played Tarzan Boy, and that's what the people like because now they've got their own song that they can not only wave to but sing "Whoa" in some form.
I'm really happy for the family, the estate, and the publisher of Baltimore. They were waiting for a night like this. It's been a couple of years. They didn't know if it would ever happen again.
But that's the thing. The people like Dino. The problem is he can't work, as we've seen repeatedly, and nobody there can book him to hide it. Because either they don't know how or he won't listen. Perry's back where he was 5 years ago as the stooge to the fucking big guy that they like. And now we're going to, again, so that the Buckaroos can bring together the whole Lollipop Guild, they can work with more of their friends. So we're going to see this. We waited a year for Perry to come back for him to be in the same spot he's in 5 years ago as the sidekick to the fucking large lizard.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're going to see the Jurassic Express against the Young Bucks. They're all friends, so hopefully that means they'll have fun, cooperative matches that the fans will really enjoy. A big moment here, and a big moment. I hope they bring Anna Jay in, maybe as Jungle Girl. Put her in a loincloth, have her swing out on a rope. Go all the way with it.
What about the outfit that Marino Sullivan got to wear in Tarzan the Ape Man?
That works for me.
2 years before Tarzan and his mate, the Hayes office had taken over. Anyhow,
but this was something. Just the kind of lack of reaction when he got in, the ambivalence to it, and then of course while they're holding him about to hit him, and the lights go out, the video was like a minute, maybe a minute and a half, but maybe a minute. They didn't do anything to Perry. They just stood there holding his hands, watching the video.
Yeah, no, when the lights came on, he was still down there, and he's used to being on his knees in front of them, with them holding his hand, or head, or hair, or something. But he had not, in any way, shape, or form tried to move.
And by the way, I know they're friends, but if you're going to reanimate anyone from wrestling history to be on your side and help you, that's who you're going to pick?
Well,
see, that was part of it. They had a video of him bringing, like Dr. Frankenstein, bringing him back to life.
But that's the thing. You can't just reanimate anybody now. It has to be a cold-blooded reptilian because they last longer in the cryogenic thing.
So then I guess the question also is the pay-per-view in England. Was Luchasaurus going to be there if Kip Sabian hadn't gotten hurt? Or did they just, instead of waiting until this to bring Luchasaurus back, which would have been even bigger if they both returned on the same night, not if we had seen Luchasaurus wrestling with the heels for the last month.
Well, now that you brought that up, that's the thing is that now we know why that Pip Sabian was abusing Luchasaurus over the past few weeks to give him more pissed off reason to turn babyface in this.
Right, but remember when they brought him back.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. They brought him back once. He was a big heel, but he wasn't a heel because he was being abused by his partners. But now his program is with the Buckaroos instead of the people who've been slapping him around for the last month.
And when they brought him back, they had a short little vignette video, a lot shorter than the one they had here, and you only saw
probably shot at the same time.
Yeah. So that means Jack Perry brought him back, and instead of saying, like, I'll need you there for me, he's like, go help Mother Wayne in this battle against Christian.
That's right, yes. None of this makes any... And he's got 100 guys sitting home he's paying to do nothing, but he had to bring the Lizard back for a month for that match that he shouldn't have had Edge and Christian work because it took the Edge off Toronto.
It's going to be interesting to see what the show becomes. In the same week, you're going to have the return of Jack Perry and the return of Orange Cassidy. So you're filling the show back up with the stars of year one.